During this time of the world, telecounseling has been such a benefit to our campus, not only to our students, but to our counselor, Lauren, and our parents. We've had so many challenges, as I'm sure you have as well, with parents struggling to get their child to counseling due to their work schedules. They also are challenged just because of the pandemic. They are worried about exposure of their children to potential viruses that are out in this world. And the cost as well could always be a factor that's taken into account when parents consider counseling for their children.
We're seeing a major uptick in anxiety and student stress level. Again, some of that due to the pandemic. We're also seeing a lack of social skills.
As a counselor, I see a lot of students struggling to regulate their emotions. Many kids on my campus are struggling with eating disorders. I've also seen an increase in suicide ideations and cutting.
Are lacking those social skills necessary for effective communication, such as conversational skills and pragmatics.
Bridging that gap from being virtual for so long to transitioning into the classroom. Increase of anxiety, whether that be social anxiety, general anxiety disorder.
A lot of kids with anxiety, social emotional issues. I think a lot of it has to do with the uncertainty that's going on in the world and with COVID.
A spike in basically just negative everything. We have seen a lot more suicidal ideation. We've seen a lot more anxiety, depression, students who have been through trauma. It took away the consistency, it took away the normalcy. Others might have had parents die.
Specifically trauma. The trauma that students have experienced this year throughout the pandemic and the consequences of it.
Telecounseling is part of our initiative to wrap around the child, providing help in whatever areas that are lacking and uniting all the different care providers. It's designed to teach children and families new ways to manage problems and behaviors that causes difficulties, such as anxiety, difficulty concentrating, pandemic-related stress, increased aggression, decreased mood and energy, loss of interest, isolation, suicidal thoughts, bullying, victimization, or even adjusting to medical diagnosis.
It's support on a weekly basis, and the students are able to experience that support through the therapist, myself, and the families that I work with. It's the collaboration that I have with her and how we are in sync in providing those supports for the students on a daily basis.
Telecounseling has been instrumental in helping my students recover during the pandemic. Many therapists are not seeing clients face-to-face, and telecounseling provides the help the students need to mend. I've witnessed many students go from having suicide ideations to a content teenager. Medications are regulated, and the students have learned to manage their mental health.
Due to these different challenges, telecounseling really has offered support for our students outside of what I'm able to do on a day-to-day basis.
One tremendous benefit of telecounseling is that it provides intervention based on student need. And so the number of sessions given per month will be individualized, and that's just so great to know as leaders of a campus that our children will be taken care of. We also have loved the idea that in our world right now, mental health is such a huge concern, and we are able to intervene early and appropriately, depending on the child, at the elementary level, and that just feels right.
And it's just awesome to know that we have additional resources and tools to help our students.
The telecounseling also impacts the restorative culture that we have on our campus, providing support for the child, the parents, the family, and again, our staff at school, our counselor, with so many challenges being presented to counselors today. This is a really excellent resource to have on campus and something that we can lean on and feel confident about the services that our children are receiving.